What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. So this is in question of the announcement I made where I said price respected our London kill zone strategy, where I said the low of the high of the day is likely going to be formed during the London session. Now this was the last example I used after the last lesson. I said the Asian Open is usually by 12 AM GMT +1 and London session opens by 8 AM same time zone, and our expectation is that once London open, we're going to anticipate a sweep of liquidity of the Asian low or the Asian high. Then if price takes the Asian low, we're going to anticipate a possible reversal to the upside, and if price takes the Asian high, we're going to anticipate a possible reversal to the downside, right? And I said we can actually get our entry confirmation where I explained how you can do that in our last lesson. So let's look at the price action we had on this GU pair. This is Monday being the 18th of March. Okay, so let's see the price action we actually have there. And if you've seen these lines right here, this is actually this session break indicator. I'm actually using it to separate different trading days. So from what you can actually see, this is actually today being the 19th day of March, and this is yesterday being the 18th day of March. So this is the price action we really want to analyze. So when does the New York session opens? New York session opens by 12 AM GMT +1. So let's see that. And this line right here, which I'm indicating with the red line, I think I should do that with the red color. So this is actually the Asian Open, and where is the London Open? London Open is going to be by 8 AM, and this is actually 8 AM right here. So according to our strategy, what we want to do is we want to mark the high and the low of the Asian session. So you can clearly see that this is actually the low of the Asian session, and what we have right here is actually the high of the Asian session. If I try to mark it correctly, right? So this is the high of the Asian session, and what you can actually see is that liquidity rests above the highs. This area you can see we have liquidity resting at the highs of the Asian session, that is money resting at the high and at the low of this Asian session. Now during the London session, what we see price do is price sweeps the liquidity at the high, and once price takes the liquidity at the high, what I say, we should drop to the lower time frame to look for our entry. So we're going to drop to the 5 minutes time frame to see if we actually got the entry we needed. So this is the 5 minutes time frame right here, and what you can clearly see is that price sweeps the high of the Asian range, and what we're actually going to look for now is our entry confirmation. And from what you can clearly see is that price was breaking structures to the upside. You see we have this break of structure to the upside. Over here we have another break of structure to the upside. Now what you can clearly see is that this is where we got the market structure shift where I talked about that we're going to anticipate a possible shift in structure, and I said the series of candle that swept that high is going to be our zone. Now this series of candles is where we're going to look to get our entry, and if you look to mark, this is the correct way you can actually look to mark this zone, right? You can actually include the wicks if you want, but based on zone refinement, it's going to refine to this particular candle we have right here. And if you try to extend, you're going to see we got a nice entry. So if you got your entry right here, you're going short your entry right here, your stop loss above the zone, and maybe you targeted this particular low we have right here, or let's say okay, you targeted the Asian low from that area, you're going to see you got about 1:4 risk to reward trade. And if you actually held your trade till this particular low we have right here, you're going to see this particular trade gave us about 1:6. So you see it's actually played out perfectly. This is a very nice trading strategy if you really want to take advantage of that. So let's go back to the 15 minutes time frame. But one thing I want to bring to your notice is that this price action doesn't play out all day. It must not play out every single day, but I said when you see this price action, try to take advantage of that. So let's see what we have on Euro USD. So this is actually Euro USD, the 15 minutes time frame. I think I have to remove this session break indicator so we can clearly see. Now this is actually, I had a zone right here. I was looking to trade to the upside from a higher time frame zone which I had right here. I had this zone right here, then price comes mitigates. We saw a little reaction where price gave us more like an entry confirmation at this area, mitigated, reacted to the upside, break structure, then it reversed it to the downside. Now it's a failed setup for me. Now if I try to actually analyze the London session strategy which we've been talking about, so I had to put the session break once more. Now you can see this is the 18th day of March which we are actually looking at. Now we say that Asian session opens by 12 AM GMT +1. That is GMT +1 is actually my personal time zone, right? Then London opens by 8 a.m. Now where is the high? This is actually the Asian high right here. You can clearly see that the Asian high. This is what we have right here, and this is actually the Asian low. Now what we're going to do is to drop to the lower time frame to look for our entry, because from what you can see, liquidity rests at the high and at the low. Now that price takes the liquidity at the high, we're going to anticipate that price is going to reverse from there. That is the high of the day likely going to be formed during the London session. Now this is the area right here. I'm going to drop to the lower time frame. That is the 5-minute time frame to see if you actually got an entry. So this is it right here, and from what you can clearly see, you see that when price sweeps the high, we were seeing break of structures to the upside. Where price breaks above this high, you can clearly see that it's breaks above the high, a continuation to the upside, another break of structure to the upside. Price was just trending up, a break of structure to the upside. So what we were actually waiting for was a sign of reversal, where price is going to give us a shift in market structure. Right here we've seen another break of structure. In this case we've seen a single candle pullback. You clearly see that. Then after that you see this break of structure to the upside. So you see these candles, you see these wicks. So this is actually a pullback right here. This exhaustion candles right here is a sign of weakness. Now at this point you see price comes, takes the low. I hope you can clearly see that this is where price takes the low of these candles, and you can clearly see price closed below this low right here. So where is going to be our entry? You see these whole candles that swept the high is going to be our zone, but based on zone refinement, you can actually refine to this candle or to this candle, whichever way. So if we refine to this candle, you can clearly see that we got our entry and price reversed from the area to the downside. Now if you actually took your trade from the entry to this Asian low we have right here, now if you try to place your entry right there, stop loss above the high till the Asian low which we have right here, you're going to see this offered about 1:14 risk to reward ratio. You can clearly see this is actually a crazy one. If you held to the close of the New York session, you're going to see that this actually offered more, right? It offered more. This was about 1:24 risk to reward ratio. So this is actually a crazy strategy which you can make money from, and I always say it doesn't happen all day. You're not going to see it every day in the market, but imagine getting a 1:24 risk to reward trade and then you lose. It's not going to matter to you. So it's a very good strategy. So I just said let me do it quickly because I asked question. So I asked on our Telegram community if few people actually see this playing out, and about 29%. Right now we still have about 103 votes, and 29% of them said they didn't notice that. So that's why I'm actually making this video. So this 29%, I hope you've seen this. Some other people said about 2% said they are not really interested in this strategy. So that's why I made this video right now. And if you have interest in joining this Telegram community, the link is in the description and you can look to join us today. So thanks very much and see you in the next lesson.